What is Mental Prayer, Part 2? A reading from Jordan Allman's book, Spiritual Theology, beginning on page 320. Note: the author uses meditation and mental prayer interchangeably. Methods of meditation. In selecting a method of meditation, two extremes should be avoided: excessive rigidity and inconstancy. At the beginning of the practice of prayer, it is generally necessary to adhere to some method or other, because as yet the soul does not know how to proceed in the life of prayer. In these early stages, it is important that the soul should not only follow a method, but that it should also select the most beneficial method, for the needs of souls are not identical. As the soul progresses in the practice of prayer, however, and is more at ease in conversing with God, the method becomes less and less important, and eventually may even become an obstacle to further progress. It should also be noted that, since we are not usually the best judge of our own needs, a prudent and wise spiritual director is of great help in leading the soul from one grade of prayer to another, so long as the director is not slavishly addicted to one method exclusively. Although ancient writers such as St. John Cassian and St. Bernard spoke about methods of prayer, it was not until the 16th century that spiritual writers began to offer detailed methods of discursive prayer. Since that time, methods of prayer have been compiled or adapted by such writers as Louis of Granada, St. Ignatius Loyola, St. Francis de Sales, St. Alphonsus Liguori, St. John Baptiste de La Salle, and Cardinal Berliou. We shall content ourselves with offering two outlines of methods of prayer and leave the others to the personal research of the reader. Footnote: for detailed explanations, see Methods of Mental Prayer by Cardinal Leccara, Newman Press, 1957. The method of St. Ignatius of Loyola. Footnote: St. Ignatius composed at least 6 methods of meditation, as can be seen in his spiritual exercises. Preparation. Acts of faith and reverence in the presence of God. General preparatory prayer to ask the grace of making a good meditation. Composition of place. Exercise of the imagination. Petition for the special grace sought in the meditation. Body of the meditation. Exercise of the memory to recall the material to be meditated upon. Exercise of the intellect by reflection and consideration of the material of the meditation and practical applications and conclusions to be drawn from it. Exercise of the will by arousing devout feelings and affections, and by making practical particular resolutions. Conclusion. Colloquy or conversation with God. Vocal prayer such as Our Father, Hail Mary, etc. The Carmelite Method. Introduction, preparation, reading. Meditation. Imaginative representation of material, reflection or meditation properly so called. Affective colloquy or conversation with God. Conclusion. Thanksgiving, oblation, petition. Regardless of method, all meditation can be reduced ultimately to a basic framework containing all the essential parts of meditation: consideration of some supernatural truth, application of that truth to one's life, and the resolution to do something about it. These 3 steps, we believe, are absolutely essential for true meditation. The other details may or may not be used according to the needs of the individual souls.